So, does Flat Earth Perth actually have evidence that the sun gets smaller as it gets farther away? Let's take a look at his video and see what evidence he provides. Now, he doesn't have any commentary on this video. All he does is play a song, and I believe it's called "The Earth is Flat, NASA Lies, Yada Yada Yada." So you're going to hear that in the background in the first clip. After that, I turn the music off. So yes, this is what we would expect to see if the Earth was flat. Now the funny thing is, when he provides his evidence, as the sun heads down to the horizon, there is absolutely no change at all. So Flat Earth Perth, you do agree that we do not see this, so exactly when does the sun get smaller? Well, like Pooh Ketward, he believes it shrinks once it reaches the horizon. And this will be his evidence. He claims we don't see this with our naked eye. A P900 with a filter is required. And up in the upper left-hand corner, this is a video of a sunset that he took. He also appears to be playing around with the settings. I don't know exactly what he's doing because he doesn't tell us at all. So let's watch it and see what he has. Now, I've watched a lot of sunsets in my life at the ocean, and I have never seen this at all. Of course, I didn't have those magic filters on my eyeballs either. Now, this is what I don't understand. You are claiming that there is no change in sun size from noon to sunset. And you do understand that this averages 6 hours a day throughout the course of a year. But somehow the sun shrinks and vanishes during the 2 minutes of sunset? Exactly how fast does that sun get going to do this? This just really makes no logical sense at all. Let's examine more evidence. This is a screenshot from his video. Here he says the sun is reflecting off the ocean. And of course this is correct. Here we can see the visible water. And what there is an inferior mirage here, which is reflecting the lower part of the sun here. And this is commonly called an omega sun because it has the shape of an omega. He also uses these vertical bars here to show that what he thinks is the sun getting smaller. This is his measuring guide. And I also want you to notice we have a dark band in here. Now these dark bands are actually quite common. These are just 4 omega sun photos that I picked from the internet. The one in the upper left-hand corner, of course, does not have the dark band. But it's not uncommon that we have this effect. It can be from thin cloud layer, haze on the horizon, but it really has nothing to do with the sunset itself. So here we have the sun going down. Now you can see he's playing around with the camera settings some here, and I don't know why the video stopped for a short moment. But he's also claiming the sun is getting smaller, not setting. Looks like a setting sun if you ask me. Again, up here you can see the water, and you can see the effects of inferior mirage with this curving down over here. That's why he put that arrow up for the inferior mirage. Yeah, I'd say it's getting smaller because it's the top of a circle. And now he thinks it went to the vanishing point. So there's a very easy way to check this. What I did is on this screenshot, I put a circle around the sun. And you can see that it is a little bit flattened from the top to the bottom. This is a refraction phenomena called stooping, or what flat earthers refer to as compression. And like inferior mirages, this is not an uncommon refraction phenomena. So I made a series of 4 graphics to compare my analysis of what's going on with the sunset to Flat Earth Perth graphic showing the sun getting smaller. So here we have the setting sun, and as you can see, we will not see any change in this radius at all. But in the video that Flat Earth Perth made, he shows the sun getting smaller with a smaller radius. Again, as the sun goes down, I will show there's no change in radius, where Flat Earth Perth again shows a smaller sun. So even when we get to the point where the sun, right before it disappears, you will see that it matches this radius here, not a smaller radius as claimed by Flat Earth Perth. So again, we're going to use this outline as our guide. And here's a screen capture from his video. He's already claiming that this is the illusion of a semicircle. But you can see that there's absolutely no radius change. This is a semicircle. He's again claiming the illusion of a semicircle. Again, no change. Now he says the sun is getting smaller. It is not setting at all. But we can see that there's no radius change up here. This is a setting sun. Now he says, I'm pretty sure that the sun now appears smaller. Well, yeah, it does appear smaller because we only see the top of the circle. But again, the radius still matches. This sun is setting. Remember, this would be a smaller sun with a much smaller radius. So now we're getting down to the very point before the sun disappears. And remember, we got an inferior mirage down here. This is the approximate line on it. So this is a reflection of the sun above. And yet again, we can see the radius across the top still matches. I'm sorry, Flat Earth Perth, you provided absolutely no evidence of the sun getting smaller. And I hate to be blunt and to the point, but your video is made up pseudoscience. Now here's another thing I don't understand about you, because I made this video for you in Flat Earth New Zealand. I uploaded it last week. I spent over a year in Australia and New Zealand, and the southern hemisphere sun orbit is impossible on a flat Earth. So this is what a person would see from Sydney. Now on your model, the sun should be orbiting around the North Pole, but as you can see, the apparent orbit is in the complete opposite direction. When you are there, you watch a sun that rises in the east, and then it moves to the north or to your left as it heads to noon, and then it continues to the left, now southward, to set in the west. And during the course of the year, there is no change in this orbit path other than it moves farther north during the June solstice and farther south during the December solstice. So how you see this and believe that the Earth is flat is beyond me. Here's a video of a sunset from Nigaloo Reef, which is to the north of you from Perth up the coast. Look at it, in the opposite direction of north. I mean, think about this. The North Pole is over 8,000 miles away to the north, and the sun you see is heading in the complete opposite direction. So my final question is, why do you ignore an observed sun orbit that is impossible on a flat Earth? I mean, to be honest, you really don't seem to have the best analytical skills. And I really don't understand how you can believe in a flat Earth.